Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're seeing me for the first time, I am Estelle, and if you don't mind, you can introduce yourself in the comment section, okay? And I'll give you a very warm welcome. Okay, to our new subscribers, you're welcome. To the OGs, thank you so much for the support. To those just watching and yes, undecisive or have not decided what to do, just smash that subscribe button and also turn on your bell notification so you do not miss future uploads. Okay, so guys, today I want to tell you guys how I came to America or how I moved to America. I've been having questions, people want to know, so yeah, here we go. Okay, so there are many ways to come to the US, to migrate, to immigrate, to relocate to the US. Some come through the study route, they come as students. Others come as workers. Some people come via the spousal route. Others come to the fiancé route. And yeah, the route I use is, drum roll, I came through the K1 fiancé visa route. Okay, yes, so that's what we'll talk about today. The K1, it's called the K1 visa, and it's also called the fiancé visa. Okay, so what is a K1 visa? A K1 visa is a visa category that's an American citizen, a legal American citizen uses to bring his or her fiance or fiancé to America. Okay, and this does not apply to green card holders. So from the research I made, I realized that green card holders cannot use the K1 visa route. I'm sure they can use other routes to bring their partners, but definitely not the K1 visa. Okay, so before you start this whole K1 visa process, there are some requirements. I'm talking about it, very fast and cool, but it takes a whole lot. So let's look at some of the requirements. As I already mentioned, the sponsor or the US person bringing the fiance or the fiancé must be a US citizen. The person in the United States must be a citizen, okay? A lawful permanent resident. A lawful permanent resident. That's why I already said that green card holders do not qualify to use this route, okay? Also, each partner must be unmarried. Both of you must be free to get married. Both of you must be single. It doesn't matter whether the other person is divorced or whatever. You must be legally free to marry. Okay, so the US citizen or permanent resident must be legally free to marry, and then the foreign fiance or fiancé must also be legally free to marry, must be unmarried. Also, you must prove your relationship is valid. Okay, so this is done through pictures of you people being together, maybe your text messages, your conversations and stuff like that. There must be proof of a valid relationship, proof of ongoing and a valid relationship. So that brings me to the next point, where I will talk about the meeting in person. One of the key requirements for this process is that both of you must have met in person at least once in the past 2 years or in the last 2 years of your application. So if you're applying in 2023, you must have met at least once, from 2022 to 2023, or from 2021 to 2, at least once in the past 2 years of your application. So if you're applying now, you must have met at least once, either the foreign fiance or fiancé visiting the US fiance or fiancé, or vice versa, at least once in the past 2 years. There are, however, some exceptions to the meeting in person, okay? And the exception is that if maybe meeting or such visits are against your social or cultural or religious beliefs, then there are exceptions to that. So yes, those are the only exceptions I know about. If it's contrary, maybe a fiance visiting a fiancé is contrary to your social, cultural, or religious beliefs, then yay, you have a leeway. Also, a key requirement is that the US citizen, the US citizen bringing the foreign partner, the foreign fiance or fiancé, must have met a certain threshold of the poverty guidelines, okay, of the US poverty guidelines. If this cannot be met by any reason, then the US fiance or fiancé must add a sponsor, must have a sponsor. The US citizen must be able to prove that he's above the poverty guideline, the threshold, okay, his finances. So after all this is in place, after you have all these things in place and you think you want to go through this route, the first thing to do is to fill the form I-29F. That's the very first form that you fill. It requires details, background details of both partners or both parties, names, parents, a lot of details, background details, date of birth and stuff like that. When the US citizen fills this, and you must also add to it written statements that you would get married once, both of you would get married once you arrive in the US, okay? So do not forget to add that. If you don't add these things and you send it to the USCIS, they will reject your application. All these, and then the US fiance or fiancé would send it via post to the USCIS, and there is an application fee. It's quite a lot of money, so I'm not going to mention that. If you want to go through this route, you can find out. I'm sure there's information out there about how much it costs as at now, okay? Yes, that is it. Then after the USCIS verifies and does all the background information and gives notice, it will confirm to your fiance or fiancé in the US that okay, they've received the document, and when the notice of action, when an action is taken, then they will send the document to the foreign fiancé's embassy. Then they will work on it from there. That is when the foreign fiancé starts working on it. So these are some of the things you would do as a foreign fiancé or fiance, okay? You would have to fill the form DS-160. And on that form DS-160, you would be needing a lot of information. That's where you monitor your application. That is when you know when you're scheduled for an interview and stuff like that. Then you have to go and pay your visa fee. That's, you pay your visa fee and put in the code on the form DS-160 and a lot of things. Also, one thing you have to do as a foreign fiancé or fiance is to get police reports from your country of birth and any other country you've stayed or lived more than 6 months. Guys, this process was one of the toughest for me because I had to take a police report from the UK. It wasn't hard getting it. It's just an online process. You put in your details, I think your passport numbers or the duration of your stay or something like that. And the good thing is that they still have your bio data. They have your data in their system. So once you put in your name and stuff like that, they're able to pull up or pull out your information. Okay, so it wasn't really difficult getting it. Of course, you pay for it and all that, but the police report expires in 6 months. And here is the case that I wasn't sure when I'll be called for an interview because they had backlogs from the COVID pandemic. Okay, they had a lot of backlogs and they were not granting interviews. So And I had to also take the police report in time. I didn't want a situation where I'll be called for an interview and I wouldn't have the police report from the UK. So I had the police report, and it was almost 4 months after I had it, and I still hadn't been given a date for an interview. Guys, so these are stories for another day anyway. So yes, I'm just giving you some of the things you'd have to put in place before you are called for an interview. And also, you must have lots and lots of pictures from when both of you were together, pictures from when the foreign fiancé visited or you visited, pictures you might have taken with friends, with family, places you might have gone to, lots and lots of pictures. So if you're someone who says, oh, I don't like taking pictures, I'm shy, you need these things, okay? You need your photos, you need your text messages, screenshots, everything that you can get to show. They want evidence. So the photos I took there were very bulky. We had lots of photos, convos, conversations, yeah. And I was talking to my mother-in-law and all that, so I took a screenshot of some of those conversations we had. Okay. Oh, okay. One thing you have to do is that you would have to undergo medical exams before the interview. Yes, and the US has designated medical centers in every country, I'm sure. In Ghana, there are 2. The Holy Trinity, and there's also another one. I've forgotten the name. Yes, the Holy Trinity Medical Center. Yeah, I think. There are 2 designated places. So you must do the medicals in these places. If not, they will be rejected. And the medical results are sent directly to the US Embassy. So when you are done, you do x-ray, you do eye tests, and then some physicals, okay? Yes, and then they send the test results to the US Embassy. So it will be there, it will be ready before you go for your interview. That is how it is done. Yes, so these are just some of the few things I want to say about the K1 visa process. If you want to know more about it, I would make a detailed video. I have videos of the processes I underwent, or yeah, the processes I went through, my medicals, my visa interview. No, the thing is, you can't record your visa interview process because phones are not even allowed in the premises, okay? So not that part. But when I received my passport at the DHL office and stuff like that, yeah, I've documented some of the processes when I went for my police report and stuff like that. So I would make a detailed video detailing the K1 visa process step by step. So yeah, I hope you find this insightful. I hope you've learned a thing or two, and the purpose of our videos is to reach out to people who might, need information about anything. You might never know who is watching and who the video might help. So yeah, I hope someone out there learns a thing or two. And if you have any other questions, just DM us on Instagram, okay? If you don't want to put it in the comment section for everyone to see, just DM us on Instagram. We would answer you there. I would link the description below, okay? I'll link the Instagram handle below. Yes, so thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. Bye for now.